Hello, it's Burgess Taylor, and it is Writer Wednesday. So today we're going to be talking about writing a novel. I'm going to discuss some of my favorite books about writing. I'm going to show you how I start my novel. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I do in order to get my novel going. And then I'm going to tell you what I've been doing lately to finish my novel. I'm working really hard on it. Let's get started. First and foremost, one of the things that I did was I enrolled in Arwen Lynch's 33 Days to Finish Your Novel using Tarot and the Hero's Journey. I will get the link and leave it below. Another thing I did based on her recommendation is I got Joseph Campbell's The Hero of a Thousand Faces up there on the shelf, and then I also got The Writer's Journey by Vogler, which talks about the mythic structure. It talks about the hero's journey. As you can see, I have tabs in there. I also got this book to help me with that, Tarot for Writers. It's a really good book for world building. I've been reading this book, The Wonder Book. This is awesome and it's beautiful. This is like one of my favorite writing books, simply because the pages are gorgeous. Another really great book is Bird by Bird by Annie Lamott. And along that line is Writing Down the Bones by Natalie Goldberg. Excellent book. And then two books that are more like screenplay, but people use the screenplay, the method to write novels, is The Art of Plotting by Linda Cowgill, and then Save the Cat. And you can see both books, little ticket notes and little things in there to mark where I'm at in the book. Roz Morris wrote a really great novel called Nail Your Novel. It's a little paperback. It says Why Writers Abandon Books and How You Can Draft, Fix, and Finish with Confidence. Awesome book. Another book that actually help you is this, Writer's Guide to Character Traits. And when you start talking about character traits, I won this in a giveaway. I got this, The Emotion Thesaurus. This book, awesome books to help you use on a regular basis when you're writing your novel. Writing the paranormal novel, mine's paranormal. I thought this was important and I really like this book. And then another book that helped me figure out my writing style, works for me, is The Writer's Compass. It talks about people who are more in the middle, who are loose outliners. We're not really pantsers and we're not really plotters. We're what she refers to as a loose outliner. And she tells you how to map out your story. And so you think of it differently. It's a little bit different than actually outlining. You're more like doing a map, which is really cool. And I'm a visual kind of person. And she gives you examples for you to go through and do, and just made sense to me. And then, of course, last but not least, this is my little paperback version. The other two versions, I have a hardback and a bigger paperback version, is Stephen King's On Writing. I like what he talks about in here. He talks about what led him to writing and why he wrote his first two endeavors. He was writing one of his novels in the laundry room of their house after work, between jobs and having kids and a wife and all of that stuff. Then he gives you exercises. I thought they were pretty cool. They're not complicated exercises, so that was really good. The next thing, I'm going to tell you what I do. The first thing you want to do if you want to write a novel is you need an idea. To get to that idea, sometimes I brainstorm, but sometimes it'll come to me. Maybe it was an event that I saw on the news, or maybe it was a person I saw and it made me think about about a character. Maybe it was a movie I watched and that made me think about something that happened to me recently. So once I get my basic idea down, I brainstormed, I've done a mind map of what events are important in the novel, what's going to happen, why it's going to happen, what's going to go on with the character. And my t-shirt does say, have I mentioned I write books? I think it's important that you have the beginning, the middle, and the end. When I was trying to write a novel from the seat of my pants, I didn't really do any of this. I really didn't. I didn't do any of that. I got down and I started writing and I just wrote. I got stuck. I ended up with the saggy middle syndrome, and I got bogged down in the middle of the novel and didn't really know where to go, didn't really know what I was doing. I tried my hardest to kind of get out of that, but I couldn't. And I realized that complete pantsing wasn't really working for me. I tried hardcore outlining, which really did not work for me at all either. Then I figured, you know what? I've got to find what works for me. I've got to find a happy middle. So I am a loose outliner. I outline beginning, the middle, and the end. After I've got the beginning, the middle, and the end, I do some more brainstorming, brain dumping about my character, about what's supposed to happen in the novel, what's going on, the main plot points of what need to happen, and I look at the character arc. I want her or him to go through these things. They're going to change this character, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. The character's got to change, or the character would be really flat, a dry character, and I don't want that. I make character arcs. I'm more of a character driven writer. I do, however, use the 7 or more plot points to kind of make my character arc work. A lot of why the hero's journey works for me is because it seems to me it's very much of a character based way of outlining. So the next thing I do, once I get all of that out there, go to chapter 1. The hardest part for me is that first line. I just write my first line, and then later I keep going back. Come to me and I'll realize, oh, I need to change that. It needs to open a little bit like this, and I'll do little inserts into there. I don't change actually much. I'll just write ideas, and I write them in parentheses or whatever, because you want a first line that really stands out. One of my very favorite first lines from one of my favorite books. It's by Stephen King. It's Stephen King's The Dark Tower. It's the Gunslinger book from the Dark Tower series. And it starts out with, the man in black fled across the desert and the gunslinger followed. Why did the gunslinger follow the man in black? Why are they in the desert? What's going on? You want to know why. You want to know what's going on. You want to find out what happens. You want your character to stand out. You want your first line to hook the reader. Or you want your event to stand out, or something in your novel in the very beginning and all the way through. You want it to stand out. You want the reader to continue to read. You want them to continue to turn that page. But to me, I'm definitely a character person. The setting is very important. You need timeline information. You can check Pinterest boards. I have found some great stuff thanks to other people and myself searching, and that is really helpful. I also don't have one for this novel, but I've actually formed a board before for a different novel. Pictures and things that remind me of the character or a place or whatever. It's a Pinterest board for that novel. I think I need to do that this go round. I kind of want to know what your character's goals are. The essential things in the story that are going to make that happen, those goals. The goals for the changes that are going to happen throughout your novel, the stuff that you need for the conflict. You're going to need to know some of those things. In order to do that, if you're an outliner, no matter what kind of outliner you are, because it can be as specific as you need it to be or as simple as you need it to be, you can do a storyboard. This is my storyboard because I outlined with tarot cards, and I need to go through and do some more stuff with this. I have copies of tarot cards on there, and I used the tarot cards to help me visualize what's going to happen in the chapter. I have notes about that outline. I have a video about how I did this and everything. Not the actual storyboard, but how I did the outline with tarot, how I was following R1's course. Awesome. I have actually went back through my notebook and the notes and done that for another novel now. So it's really helpful. It gives me a guideline and it makes it creative, and I'm motivated more when it's creative. I don't like just basic numeric Roman numerals or alphabetical outlines, A, B, C, D. I don't really like that. Able to see things, not just write them down. That's what works for me. But you could also do like a plot point checklist if you're not a visual person and you don't want a storyboard. You could do a plot point checklist. Whatever works for you. You can use 3-act structure. You can use the hero's journey. You can use whatever you want to use as long as it works for you. And I think that's the key. I've actually done a mixture of different things in order to formulate something that works for me. I think I've rambled on more than long enough, so I'm going to cut this off now. I hope you guys have a good one. I hope this was helpful. I've really been working hard on the novel, on writing. Pretty soon I'm going to put the ribbons in my typewriter. I think I'm going to get some footage of me sitting at the dining room table with that and really writing with my typewriter, which I'm really excited to do. I just haven't been able to do it yet. Thanks for watching, y'all. Good one. Bye.